Hello everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about the right presentation you need to have when you are with your prospects, when you're actually presenting your idea. And because from my last video, I saw a lot of you sent me messages on Facebook that, can you help me out with presentation? What should I include? What should I not include? What should I talk about? And I'm going to give you, I will show you my presentation as well, what I'm working on. But I'll also tell you the framework you need to have in order to, do it yourself. They say, do not give them the fish, teach them how to catch the fish. So from now on, you will be able to do it by yourself. You won't have to look at my videos or anything else when you need to find the answers. One of the mistakes I made, I would try to copy other YouTubers. The whole point of this YouTube channel is I look at what other YouTubers and what I learned from courses, I implement it and I report back to you guys if it actually worked or not. But believe it or not, every time when I try to copy from YouTuber, it only made me more anxious because it worked for him. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was gonna work for me, right? So because of the circumstances we came from, he had skills in certain background I didn't have in. So it's really foolish to copy someone else on YouTube. If someone tells you just copy me, you're never gonna feel confident when you just take something from someone else and try to make it seem like it's your own. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the mental framework you need to have to even approach anything, right? So many times it happens, we try to do something, right? We have a goal we want to achieve, but we do a lot of things, but we don't get close to that goal. It's because we're doing the wrong things. So here's just I'll go over quick things that you need to check before even considering doing anything. The first thing you need to make sure is, before you do anything, does that thing help me get more customers? That's the first thing you need to focus on. If the activity you're doing does not do this, it's a waste of time. The second thing you need to focus on is, does that activity make customers worth more? Like, does me doing this thing will increase the worth of my customers, right? It could also mean increasing your price. That would make it worth more. And the third thing you need to focus on is increasing the value of the company. So these are the three things. Those should be like the Polaris star, right? If the activities you're doing does not contribute to one of these three things, it's a useless thing. And to be able to approach these three things, these are the four things that will guide you in terms of your actions. The first thing, if you're doing anything, ask yourself, what problem am I solving? Are you even solving the problem? If it's not, just don't do anything. Just don't even bother doing that thing. It's gonna be like one of those things you're gonna be doing a lot, but will have very small outcome. All right. So first thing, what problem am I solving? The second thing you gotta do is make hypothesis. I will show you with proof that you do not want to be a person who thinks of an idea and believes 100% will work. That does not happen in business. It has never worked like that. Actually, it's a curse if it does, because you're always gonna fail. If you end up thinking that your first idea is gonna be $1 billion company, that's very rare. You're gonna fail. You're gonna iterate and learn from there. And I will show you my example as well. My first presentation, and then second, and now I'm building a third one using AI. So I'll show you that as well. And second thing you want to do is hypothesis, right? And the third thing is what action I'm going to take. Ask yourself, what are the things I'm going to say? Action. And the fourth, the outcome that comes. If it was a success, keep doing the same thing. If it wasn't, look at what mistakes I made and then make it better. This is what happened to my last presentation. I was with the prospect, and I could tell he just wanted to know what is it that I do, what problems I was solving. And I felt like there was something missing in my presentation, because I had a traditional model. I would take him on a story with me, add persuasive skills, but I felt like I gotta be more concrete. So now let me share my screen with you and show you the new presentation I'm building and how I came up with that conclusion and how you can do the same. So I gave to clients what to add in them, what to avoid, what not to talk about, and what works the most from my own experience. Before I do go over though, here's one thing you always want to keep in mind. If this is your first time, you're always gonna have some drawbacks. It's not gonna be perfect. I'll get my own example. I built 4 presentations. 4 times I thought it was gonna work, it didn't. The first time this is not even my first one. this is, I think, my second one. In first one I had 72 slides. It took me a week to record it, to master that, and then record it and put it up on my website, and all that to find out that it didn't work properly. But you cannot get discouraged from that. Then I learned from those mistakes what worked, what were the one that did attract clients attention, and then I made this one was the second one I created. And then even this wasn't good enough, because there's one of the quote where he said, you do not do your best, you do what is required of you. So you can't just say, I tried my best and I failed. And no, you gotta do what is required in the market. That's how you become the best. So this was my second one, didn't work out as well. And then I created the third one, which was this one, which is what I use right now. But it's not good enough. It's good, but it's not good enough, this presentation. And now I'm building my fourth one, which is what I'm gonna share with you guys. I'm still working on it. You can see I was working the whole day coming up with this framework, and now I'm up to slide 5. Now, how did I come up with this new presentation? I hired the smartest person in the world right now, and that is AI, ChatGPT. It's like, if you were to ask for someone, if you were to hire a really smart person, they would charge you millions of dollars for their hour time. But you have ChatGPT in your hand. You have AI is free, and it has all the data, all the resources. You can just use it. You can even use it you do not even need to hire anyone for copywriting. It can do it for you. I wrote ads using ChatGPT. You just gotta ask them, you just gotta know how to ask good questions. So I asked ChatGPT, first of all, I even asked it to make me an irresistible offer, around my concept, which is I sell restaurants. And it did good enough job, but obviously you cannot take everything. Going back to presentation, because this is the topic of this video, I don't want to make it too long. I asked ChatGPT, I gave it a little background information, what is it that I do, and I asked, can you give me a framework on which I can create a presentation which is logical? You don't want to go all over the places in your presentation. First talk about problem, and then you just start talking about your online advertising strategy. It doesn't work like that. It has to be logical framework. So then it went off, first obviously you got to introduce yourself, and the tips here I'll give you though. When you're introducing yourself, make sure you build credibility and authority. You never want to let them take in charge of the presentation or disappointment. If they do, you lost it. If they start asking you questions, you just cannot answer them. You're gonna dodge them and say sorry. The reason for this call was to see if my business can help you, right? This was not answer and question appointment where you can ask me any questions. And if you do have any questions, you ask them at the end, because if they keep bothering you throughout the presentation, there is no way they will know what value you have, and you won't. It's like a mess, right? So from the beginning, you want to take hold of this presentation. You want to build credibility. You can, one way that I do is, the people I work with, multi-million-dollar companies, and I use that as a place to build authority, and then they don't take you that easy as well. What you can talk about is probably the amount of knowledge you have and skills. That's why it's important, guys. The thing you learn from YouTube, go ahead and try and practice them with dropshipping. Just create something, or affiliate marketing is free on ClickBank. I did that. You can do it, and then you can put that on the presentation as well. It's like, hey, look what I did for those companies. It makes you look more credible as authority. The second thing is problem statement. What problems are they facing in the industry, right? You want to highlight those problems. The point is to have as many problems as possible, and like this, if there are 100 problems, it's more likely that even one of them will resonate with the prospect who's sitting right there. And I will go over this phenomenon as well, the beauty behind listing a lot of problems, and then how you can increase the value of your offer by doing that. Actually, let me go over it right now. This is what I got from $100 Million Offer by Alex Hormozi. That book is a killer. I also have notes of that book. Let me show you if I have them. $100 Million Offer. Actually, I list the notes in my bio as well. I can't find that document right now. Basically, everything I learned from that book, it's like 30-minute, my notes, the best things I've got from the book, I put them, and you can just take and have a look in those as well. So the point is, if you want to increase the value of your offer, first go ahead, take time and write down all the problems you think your prospect might have. This is all the problems I wrote down for my industry, all of them. And as you guess, now you're gonna list all the solution for the same problem. The solution is easy. The hard thing is finding a problem. For example, one of the problem is not reaching new customers. In the solution, you're gonna say how to get new customers, how you can use this sales process to get new customers, and then preferably just put like the value amount. Let's say how to get new customers is worth $997, $1,000. Okay, and then at the end, what you want to do is write down as many problems and then solutions, and at the end say, you know, if you were to add up all this, it would cost you $40,000, but with me it's only $2,000 or even more. Alex Hormozi talks about the more you charge, the more value they will feel. Like the fact that it's worth it more, people will think it has high value. It's just like they did an experiment. They had 3 wine bottles. One of them had a cheap logo on it, the other one medium, and the third one was like expensive looking. And they asked people to try all these 3 of them and see which one tastes better. People who said which had the cheap logo on it, people said that one didn't taste good. The one that had fancy body and looked expensive, they said that tastes better. In reality, all of them were the same alcohol in it. So the point is, people consider expensive more value. So this is another way that you can use to make your offer more expensive. You never want to sell something cheap. If you position yourself as like $400 a month, $500, even $1,000 a month, they're gonna treat you like $1,000 a month. But if you can increase your price, then you will attract a better quality of prospects. So this is another big takeaway, guys. Write down as many problems you're gonna face, and then write down the solution for those problems, like you can do that. And then you also want to add bonuses, right? And when giving all those things, they're gonna think, oh, it's enough value, but then you're gonna say, oh, that's not it, here are the other bonuses. And for some reason, if they still think that the value you offer with those solutions is not good enough, you never want to discount your price. You want to say you want to give another bonus. Okay, because if you go downward the price way, you're gonna end up with very thin profits. Second thing is having problem, then the solution to those problems. And here's another thing, guys. You're not selling marketing. You are not selling social media marketing. This is where you need to get your head on. That, first of all, that's very thinking small. The other thing is the market is very saturated. Everybody's sending the same thing that will do social media marketing for you. It doesn't work. You're selling a solution to them. You are selling dream outcome, which is double your revenue or whatever concept. Create a concept, and then all these things, skills that you learned, use them as a fuel to achieve that outcome, right? So for example, I talk about this virtual restaurant model. I came up with this thing, right? And then I use the social media and e-commerce, the skills I learned, to get to that desired outcome, which is to have virtual restaurant model and double your income, right? So you have one big goal, you have one big thing, and then you have this small thing that you learned to go to achieve that big thing. The point is, you're selling the one big desired outcome. You're not selling marketing. Remember, that's a very big thing you need to get your head around. After that, you need to talk about the benefits of your virtual restaurant in your presentation. For example, here, all these things that you would have done work to create, you got to put in some work. These are all the benefits. When they're gonna see them, it's gonna blow up their head, right? There's so many different value points you have added here. So write down all the benefits. This is, I gave ChatGPT my version, how we use Shopify, but whatever that you said how you were gonna help, you use that. Obviously, results and case studies do help. If you do not have anything, that's why I say it's very cheap. Just get around ClickBank, find some affiliate and practice, get some results, put them on there. And then how are you better than your competitor. I don't think you need this one, to be honest. But do talk about how are you planning on working together, how does the system gonna look like, the onboarding process, and this one is important, guys, return on investment. You want to give them actual value, how much money they're gonna make with you. And let me show you this one because I feel like this is important. So this is a new presentation I'm making. So this was the problem slide. I wrote down like 9-10 problems, big ones. Obviously there are more, how they can solve with this virtual restaurant model, and then I talk about the solution, what it is. And here on this slide I'm gonna talk about the benefits and the rest. Basically I got my framework from ChatGPT. Now going over showing them the value. This was my previous presentation. Here is the sheet you can use. This is the sheet I use for restaurants. I got it from Tristan Larson. I want to give him the credit, but you can use it for your industry as well. Okay, so when it comes to how are you going to get the results with advertising, you want to tell them, okay, first find out the average value of the customer, right? Tell them, okay, how much is going to cost, what is the average value. For me, the average value is $53 per month, right? The average value of one customer. You can find out for your business, find out the average sale per customer in your business, the average time they visit, and if they come alone or with a group of friends. You add all these numbers and you take the current monthly revenue of the business, you divide it with that number, it will give you an estimate how many people you're serving right now. You multiply it by 30%, right? Which is if they want to grow their business by 30%, and it will give you an estimate how many new people you need to bring in every month for you to achieve the revenue goal. In this case it's 396 people. Now you take 396 people, right? You want to know how much the value of those people. 396 multiplied by 53, that's $20,988 of value each month I'm bringing them. You want to put that thing at the end, like this is the amount of money I'm making every month, and that's at least and if they ask how are you going to get those customers, show them their sales process. Tell them this is the same sales process every billion-dollar company, every business uses to bring in new customers. We start off with awareness, then we retarget them engagement ads and subscription and convert. And tell them if you are to target 100,000 people who live near your location, what are the chances only 400 people are going to come in your business? You're going to make them look stupid, obviously, duh, right? So this is where you can show them, look, I know what I'm talking about. I will get you 400 new guys, and each guy is $53, and you're making you $20,000, $21,000 almost this month. And tell them that's not it. There's ripple effects as well. Once they come in, they stay with you, and the lifetime value of those customers, let's say in my industry, you want to find out what's in your industry. In my industry is $6,628. So you do that multiplied by 400 new customers that you brought. That's around $2 million that you generated lifetime in 1 month. Show them this value. You don't want to just let it be under the rug. You want to bring it up and show them the actual value you're providing, and this is true. All right, so now what is the next thing? Testimonials and references. As I said, go practice and have a clear call to action. And when it says call to action, I will go over proposal in the next video, but it is crucial, guys. The mistake I made on my last appointment with the prospect, he said send me the proposal. When you do that, it's very rare they look at it. They are very busy. So you always want to close them. You want to have your proposal right next to you and go over it with them on the meeting. Don't make this mistake that I made, even though I know you guys will make it, but hopefully some of you are smart enough to learn from others. So I'll go over the proposal next time. This was mainly about presentation, what to include and what not to include. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Hopefully you found value. Bye bye.